What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick from WK Pop, and I want to welcome you back to another video in my series where we talk about the various categories and the nominees for the Mnet Asian Music Awards of 2015. So we've already talked about the veteran groups. We've already covered the best new female group. It's time to talk about the best new male group. And just a reminder for you, if you don't know who's been nominated, we got them right here. They are iKon, N.Flying, Monsta X, 17, and surprisingly for me, Up Tension. So we're talking about these groups in relation to each other, and ultimately I'm going to tell you who I vote. And we have to go in some sort of order because then the episode wouldn't be organized. So we're going to do that. The order that I go in doesn't specifically mean anything as far as ranking, because that's not the point of this, video or series. So we're going to start off with talking about iKon. And since they're not the last group that I've talked about, obviously that means that I am not going to vote for iKon. And it's probably going to be surprising and quite shocking to you that I'm not going to vote for iKon, despite the fact that if I vote for anybody else, there will be no point, because iKon is going to win in a landslide, because, these are basically a popularity contest, more or less, and the fan votes are very, very significant, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. The fan votes are very, very significant to who gets the awards, or they definitely do determine. But I'm not voting for iKon because their debut songs are not really quite as much or so much. They aren't quite, it when it comes to grabbing my attention and, getting me. I came into this not as a fan of I was not already a fan of iKon. I hadn't followed Mix and Match. I hadn't followed any of this other stuff. So I was coming in just like to this debut looking for them to impress me and make a statement. And I think that with most of their songs to an extent, they kind of failed to make that statement to impress me and get my attention, which, I don't think that that's really, too crazy to say, because I know that the first set of their songs, people were kind of disappointed with the fact that there wasn't really that hype song, with a song with the attention, with the attitude and the just energy. But they came out with that a little bit with their second set of songs, and then I think I've been hearing they have another set of songs coming out in December. I don't know, I'm not following it, but that's the way it goes. And the reason I think why they didn't go with something that was going to be quite a good selection as a debut song is because, the group have been around more or less for about 2 years up until this point. They'd been an idea at least, and they grew a fan base over that time. By the time they make their debut, basically a year or two after Mix and Match started, then, they've got an absolutely just massive fan base. So of course, anything that they do is going to be, fantastically popular. And, it doesn't really help too that, you've got members who are writing lyrics for the songs and doing emotional sorts of stuff, which is fantastic. All of their music, by the way, is fantastic. I'm not criticizing them in any way, not at all. But they can basically release anything and the fans are absolutely going to love it. And the fact that they have a huge fan base is going to give them an absolutely massive boost, and they're not really going to have to worry so much about making an impact and grabbing people's attention or the average person's attention. That's just the way it goes. So we're going to move on to a group that actually did grab my attention with their debut song, and that is N.Flying. And this is the newest idol pop rock group from FNC Entertainment. And, their idol is an idol group, basically is what it is, but they're a rock band kind of thing. They got a little bit of experience in the underground scene in Japan a little bit. They kind of, did their own thing over there for a while. And then FNC brought them over and they made their, debut in K-pop, and it was really, really awesome. They brought some of the new metal, whatever, which is the mix of hip hop and rock and roll, and they gave me a really, really strong feeling and idea, or they reminded me a lot of Rage Against the Machine, which I absolutely love that. It was fantastic. The reason why I'm not going to vote for these guys, though, is despite the fact that they came out with a song that grabbed my attention from the very, very start, is that their next song was more of like a pop ballad kind of feel to it, which again wasn't bad per se, but I feel that was kind of a bit of a let up on the gas. And instead of just plowing forward with keeping the hype and the attention that I felt and that a lot of other people felt about this group, they let off a little bit, they eased off of it, and they're just not they just weren't gunning for it anymore. And that it's not like it's a bad song. It's a really good song. It's really, really good. But as far as, again, having an impact and making a splash in K-pop this year, their second release wasn't really quite as big of a splash as their first one was, in my opinion. So a group that made a huge splash with both of their releases in this year is 17. 17 is a group that has saved Pledis from mediocrity or death or whatever. 17 has come out and is giving Pledis Entertainment the huge shot in the arm that the company apparently needs, as far as money and a popular group, someone to keep that company alive and functioning to the highest extent that they possibly can. 17 came out with their debut song, and they had that cute look, which is cool. Their sound wasn't really specifically, it was a little bit, but it wasn't really that, cute and all that stuff at all, which is fantastic. They, with both of their releases and the albums, they had a really fantastic, cute visual. They had a lot of energy with their music. It's just overall, 17 has been really, really fantastic. Their debut song came out and grabbed a lot of people's attention, and then their comeback song after that to follow that up also grabbed a lot of people's attention. And you can see this by the fact that they're probably going to be ranked about number 2 when the voting is finally closed. And that's really, really great. It's definitely something that Pledis absolutely needed. The only concern is, since Pledis tends to, debut a group that starts out really, really strong, and then they have kind of tailed off and become less popular as the years have gone on, newest specifically being the latest, result of that. We'll see what Pledis does to 17. Hopefully they don't kill them slowly. So moving on, we're going to talk about Uptension, which is the biggest surprise to me as far as the nominations go, because this is a group that didn't specifically come from a group or a company that anybody even knows about. Who knows? I don't even know what company they came from. Honestly, I probably could find out, but I just didn't do the research too much. But, Uptension, a group coming from a small company, and I have to say, just in general, with the rookie boy group debuts this year, they have come out, a lot of them have absolutely come out, and they have not looked like rookies in any way. And that is impressive. That is very, very impressive. Specifically, Uptension, for them, they come in out with the same genre and sound and style that a lot of the really, really popular, or what is the general trend in K-pop these days, and they absolutely nail the entire thing. They just nail it. Perfect. Absolutely great. And what seems to be a trend with Uptension and A6P in specific, the other group that I would have, definitely voted on or considered as a top group is A6P, who made their debut early in the year. And the thing that really impressed me about these guys is that their choreography is like spot on, perfectly executed, absolutely fantastic. We talk about SM Entertainment, or groups from SM Entertainment having absolutely flawless choreography. EXO being the best example of just the crispest, most perfectly timed and well executed choreography in all of K-pop. And I think that these guys did a really, really good job in matching that and putting on a really, really good dance performance like EXO does, which is a huge thing to compare them to, I think. And that's what they did. They really did reminded me a lot of watching EXO perform their dance choreography, and that's really, really great. So the final group, which I don't know if you've been keeping track of who I've already talked about, but the final one is Monsta X, and they're gonna get my votes. Like I said, with boy group debuts in general, they fall into the general trend of what is popular in K-pop these days, with that hip-hop rap influenced K-pop stuff. And the visual style is executed perfectly, the sound is executed well. All aspects of their music video and promotions for their 2 songs, for Trespass and Rush, are really, really great. The thing that these guys have done, as far as their promotion track, that say iKon didn't do, is both of their songs are attention grabbing, which is really, really awesome. The fact that they grabbed my attention and a lot of other people's attention that I know specifically, grab their attention. And for me personally, grabbing my attention means that I'm going to pay attention to you and I'm going to listen to the songs on your album. And Monsta X shines on their album. They have this, the general sound and the general style and genre that they, fit into as a group. and they explore all of the like the subgenres of influence that they can possibly grab to do that in their albums. And they got a lot of different sounding music, and they definitely do explore more use of like singing vocals as opposed to rap vocals in those songs as well, which is really, really good. You listen to the album tracks, it really shows the vocal diversity and ability that this group has. And you know, that's not on show specifically with the promotion tracks, which isn't a bad thing because the promotion tracks is supposed to be attention grabbing, and you know, the vocals kind of generally aren't really. But you listen to album tracks and you listen to these guys sing, and it's really, really awesome. Totally, I mean, and a little honestly unexpected as far as the entire sound of the group goes. So there you go. That is it. We've talked about all of the nominees for this category, and of course, as we just said, Monsta X is the group that I'm going to vote for as what I say is the best male the best new male group, however it's worded. But there you go. I want you to let me know who you voted for in the comment box below. Also, if you haven't already, watch the rest of the videos in this series as well, because we've covered a bunch of others, and we'll be covering more before the award ceremony starts. So look forward to that. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss any of those videos. And if you think somebody else would like to watch this video, then please share it around, share it to them, post it to the world in general on whatever social media sites you would love to do that with. You can follow me on social media. I got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and a bunch of others. I got links down below in the description box below. So if you want to click on those and give me a follow, I would greatly appreciate it. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.